Right, everybody. Manchester United versus Fulham. What a game it was. I mean, a lot of positives to take, a lot of analysis to be done, but ultimately, it was a big game and Manchester United went out, got the 3 points, and we did what we did. Yes, there was lots of ups and downs. There was probably quite a few mistakes, a lot of room for improvement, but I do certainly think we learned a lot. So let's get straight into it. Number one, Zirkzee makes his impact. I think Zirkzee today, or yesterday, had a really, really great performance. Listen, he had a 25-minute cameo. He couldn't really show much in that 25 minutes. I think he didn't even touch the ball for the first 20 minutes he was on the pitch. But the last 5 minutes count he had. When he scored that goal, you can see the confidence that he gave him when he scored. He looked very, very positive. And you look at his future going into the season, he would probably have quite a variety of roles. He'd probably play the striker role while probably Højlund's out. And when Højlund's back, it'd be interesting to see because for me personally, I think Zirkzee is a player. From what we've seen, he's someone who likes to link the play. If you look at the goal that he scored, he started off in kind of the number 10 role and then made his way into the box. And that's that sort of thing that he was doing a lot at Bologna. So that could be a big impact and a big way in what Zirkzee does at United. But I think he definitely can play that striker role. You look at his ability, it does look really, really sharp. A great goal, great striker's finish. And listen, a great debut goal, the first goal scorer of the new season. It was a lot of positivity to take. I think, listen, his performance overall was sharp. That's all you can say about him. And listen, with no pre-season, people thought he was going to start the Community Shield, didn't start. Eric Ten Hag gave him the minutes, trusted him to when he was going to start, and ultimately he had a big impact in the game. So yeah, real happy with what Zirkzee produced yesterday. I think he showed a lot of glimpses of what he really can do. I think he will continue to do that going into the season. So yeah, real happy with Zirkzee. He's the ideal striker that we needed. And look at his performance against this Fulham team. Listen, as I said, it was a tight cameo, but we're going to see a lot more of him. So yeah, real happy with Joshua Zirkzee now. The second thing that we learned is Casemiro redemption, I'm going to call it, because listen, with Casemiro, if we get the Casemiro that we've seen again yesterday, the one we saw against Manchester City, he can definitely have a future at Manchester United. But if we see the Casemiro that we've seen in the last parts of last season, where he looked unfit, then he certainly isn't. And that's the big issue with Casemiro. We just don't know what Casemiro we're going to get. Are we going to get the sharp, fit Casemiro who's going crazy in every challenge, winning balls? He had quite a few chances to score. His passing was excellent. Or are we going to get the Casemiro that looks leggy in midfield? And yes, yesterday wasn't all positive. He did get bypassed quite a bit in midfield. But ultimately, it was a decent job by him. And I think if we can get in a number 6 in Ugarte and you can have Casemiro as kind of the second fiddle, then that would be really important for Manchester United. But if you look at Casemiro yesterday, he had such a big performance for him. I think he was a contender for man of the match, certainly in that first half. He was absolutely electric. So yeah, we are really happy with him. I think what he's shown was real special. So really happy with that. Now the third thing, Mazraoui debut. Mazraoui shines in my opinion. I think for Mazraoui, he had 3 or 4 training sessions going to a tough game. Listen, Fulham are a top team. Yes, he didn't come up against Adama or anything like that, but still a tough game nonetheless. And I think he did a very good job defensively. Made that sliding tackle. Listen, was a contender for man of the match. You look at his performance, played 75 sharp minutes, and he put in a shift for the team. I mean, if we had maybe Shaw injured, I don't think he probably would have started, because we would have had Shaw and Dalot. Or if we had a left back available, I think Dalot would have started. But he got thrown into the deep end. Listen, did do a very good job. So yeah, really happy with that. I think he will be an important player in this season for £15 million. He's a very different profile to Wan-Bissaka and does very different jobs, but still nonetheless very sharp. Now listen, I'm going to talk about, but the fourth thing that we learned is that there's not really a style of play. Listen, yes, we won the game, but if we're being brutally honest, the style of play wasn't really there. I didn't really see many glimpses. There was a lot of long balls, a lot of wasted possession, and ultimately I think there were a lot of room for improvement, if I'm honest with you. I think, listen, that if we lose that game, or if we draw that game, people are looking at the Bruno missed chances, the Casemiro kind of getting bypassed in midfield, the errors that we made. But ultimately, I think I think we need to just see a style of play. When I was watching the game yesterday, there was just no sort of fluidity, no sort of system. Playing it out from the back slowly, like there wasn't that intensity that we needed. Maybe it's going to take players a couple of games to get into the thick of things. But ultimately, I couldn't really see that. And that's something that you want to see. I think Erik ten Hag's system is growing on me, and I want him to succeed at United. But if we're playing in ultimately the way that we are, it's just not going to work. The press is not off. The press is not right. It looked a bit lackluster. We don't look good on the ball at times. You look at kind of Bruno. Yes, he's good, but he was making a few wayward passes. Rashford just looked a bit lost. Mount, I don't know what he's going to do. Like, there were just sort of things where we haven't made a massive improvement on last season. And yes, it's only the first game. You can't really be too harsh. But yeah, that's what I would take away from the game. Now, the fifth and final thing, players take their chances now. I don't want to go into I don't want to just talk about each individual player as a point, because I've already talked about Mazraoui. I've talked about Zirkzee. I want to talk about a couple of players in this last fifth and final point about players taking their chances. I think Onana, fantastic. Listen, it's not really about him taking his chances. You know he's going to play every game. He is the goalkeeper. But he did a very good job. Claiming crosses was brilliant. He was sharp on the ball. A few errors in distribution, but only small errors. Listen, he did a good job. He did a good job defensively. Made a few sharp catches. And yeah, made some good saves. I think Maguire, colossal. I think his performance went under the radar. He was so sharp and like quick. He was very, very good defensively. I think overall the team did a very, very good job. I think every single player put in a shift. And listen, we haven't seen things like that over the last season for United, so real happy with that, to be honest with you. There's a lot of confidence going into the next game. It's a big couple of games. You've got Brighton. I think we've got Liverpool in about 2 weeks' time, so we've got to be up for it. And we've got to keep the momentum going. And yeah, listen, Fulham are a decent side. I think we did a very, very good job against them, if I'm honest with you. And momentum's building. Erik ten Hag, Reds to go in again. And we look confident, we look sharp. But as I said, there's still a long way for improvement. Hopefully we can get in a couple of signings in Ugarte, maybe another midfielder other than that. Maybe a left back, because I do certainly think we need one of them. But yeah, this has been a bit more analysis. Stay tuned for another show coming. And yeah, drop a like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed them.